I throw lecture on the subject compiler design. Subject code PCC CS501. This is for computer science and engineering students. I am Konkan Jana, Assistant Professor of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Greater Kolkata College of Engineering and Management. JAS Group, it's a joint venture. This is module 3 of the subject compiler design, having the subject code PCC CS501. This lecture based on the syllabus of BTech Computer Science and Engineering of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal, formerly known as West Bengal University of Technology. This syllabus is applicable from the academic session 2018-2019. In Module 3 of Compiler Design, students of Computer Science and Engineering of 5th semester will know about syntax analysis. Module 3 has 9 lectures in total. Contents of Module 3 lecture is the role of a parser, context free grammars, writing a grammar, top down parsing, non-recursive predictive parsing, that is LL, bottom up parsing, handles variable prefixes, operator precedence parsing, LR parser, SLR, LLR, parse generator YACC, error recovery strategies for different parsing technique. So we will start lecture 1 in this session. I am using digital whiteboard for better dictation. Important points and some reference will be written in this board. How we learn syntax analysis. In this module 3, we will know parsing method that are typically used in compilers. We first present the basic concept, then techniques suitable for hand implementation, and finally algorithms that have been used in automated tools. Since programs may contain syntactic errors, we discuss extensions of the parsing methods for recovery from common errors. By design, every programming language has a precise rules that prescribe the syntax structure of well-formed programs. In C, for example, a program is made up of functions, a function out of declarations and statements, a statement out of expression, and so on. The syntax of programming language structure can be specified by context free grammars or BNF. Context free grammar, context free grammar. Or this is the VNF, Vegas node form. form. So using this notation we will analyze it. Grammars offer significant benefits for both language designers and compiler writers. Okay. Now we will know what are the benefit of grammar. A grammar gives a precise yet easy to understand syntactic specification of a programming language. Okay, of what? Of a programming language. Okay, of a programming language. From certain classes of grammars, we can construct automatically an efficient parser that determines the syntax structure of source program. As a side benefit of that is parser construction. Of it, the parser construction. And the process can reveal syntactic ambiguities and travel spots that have slipped through the initial design phase of language. The structure imparted to a language by a properly designed grammar that is useful for translating source program into correct object code and for detecting the errors. Translating source program. Okay. A grammar allows a language to be evolved or developed iteratively by adding new construct to perform new tasks. The new constructs can be integrated more easily into an implementation that follows the grammatical structure of the language. Grammatical structure of the language. Now we will know about the role of the parser. We examine the way the parser fits into a typical compiler. We then look at typical grammars for arithmetic expression, grammars for expression suffice for illustrating the essence of parsing. Since parsing technique for expression carry over to most programming constructs. So here with the discussions of error handling, parser must respond gracefully to finding that its input cannot be generated by its grammar. In our compiler model, the parser obtains a string of tokens from the lexical analyzer. Get from the lexical analyzer. What get? The token received. The parser obtains a string of tokens from the, so in this way it will show, and verifies that the string of token names can be generated by the grammar for the source language. We expect the parser to report any syntax error in an intelligible fashion and to recover from commonly occurring errors to continue processing the remainder of the program. So, conceptually, for well-formed programs, the parser construct a parse tree, okay, and passes it to the rest of the compiler. Rest of the compiler. In fact, the parse tree need not to be constructed explicitly, since checking and translation action can be interspersed with parsing. As we shall see, the parser and the rest of the front-end code will be implemented by a single module. Okay. Now there are three general types of parser for grammar. Three general type of parser for grammar. One is universal and top down and bottom up. What does it do by universal? Universal parsing methods such as Koch-Unger Kasami algorithm, okay, and Arlis algorithm can parse any program. Parse any program. Okay. This general method are, however, too inefficient to use in production compilers. So, the methods commonly used in compilers can be classified as being either top-down or bottom-up. As implied by their names, top-down methods build first tree from the top root to the bottom levels. Top root to the bottom level. Okay. Bottom leaves. While bottom up methods start from leaves to root. In either case, the input to the parser is scanned from left to right, and one symbol at a time. The most efficient top-down and bottom-up methods work only for subclasses of grammars, but several of these classes, particularly LL and LR grammars, are expressive enough to describe most of the syntactic construct in modern programming languages. Parts are implemented by hand often use LL grammars. For example, the predictive parsing. For the predictive parsing, parsing. This approach works for LL grammars. Parts are for the larger classes of LL grammars are usually constructed using automated tools. We assume that the output of the parser is some representation of the parse tree for the stream of tokens to comes from the lexical analyzer. In practice, there are a number of tasks that might be conducted during parsing, such as collecting information about various tokens into this symbol tables, performing type checking and other kind of semantic analysis and generating intermediate code. Next, we'll know about the representative grammars. Some of the grammars that will be examined are presented here for ease of reference. Construct that begin with keywords like while, int, int for integer type are relatively easy to parts of references because the keywords guides the choice of the grammar production that must be applied to match the end. We therefore concentrate on expression which are present more of challenge because of the associativity and precedence of the operator. Associativity and precedence are captured in the following grammar for describing expression, terms and factors. Here, E represents expression consists of terms separated by plus sign, separated by plus signs. T represents terms consist of factors separated by multiplication, and A represent factors that can be either parenthesized expression or identified. Okay. Above expression, so in this expression the class of LR grammars that are suitable for bottom-up parsing. This grammar can be adapted to handle additional operators and additional levels of precedence. However, it cannot be used for top-down parsing because it is left recursive. The non-left recursive variant of the expression grammar will be used for top-down parsing. Okay. This is the top-down parsing. In this diagram, we can say grammar trees plus and the star symbol alike, plus and star. They are alike. So it is useful for illustrating technique for handling ambiguities during the parsing of this. Here E represent expression of all types. Grammars permit more than one parse tree for expression like A star B, A plus B star C. Okay, so that way the grammar will be represented. Next, how the syntax error will be handled. Consider the nature of syntax error and general strategies for error recovery. The two strategies called panic mode and phrase level recovery. In connection with specific parsing method. Parsing method. If a compiler had to process only correct program, its design and implementation would be simplified greatly. However, a compiler is expected to assist the programmer in locating and tracking down errors that inevitably creep into programs. Despite the programmer's best efforts, strikingly few languages have been designed with error handling in mind. Even though errors are so commonplace, our civilization would be radically different if spoken language had the same requirements for syntactic accuracy as a computer languages. So, most programming language specification do not describe how a compiler should respond to errors. Error handling is left to the compiler designer. Planning the error handling right from the start can be simplify the structure of a compiler and improve its handling of errors. Which type of error? These common programming errors can occur at many different levels. Okay. Lexical errors include misspelling of identifiers, keywords, or operator. As for example, the use of an identifier ellipsis instead of you have spelled out ELL, it will be ELI, and missing quotes around the text intended as a string. This type are lexical errors. Syntactic errors include misspelled semicolons or extra or missing braces. That is, suppose for example, we have spell it as this included two bracket that, okay, or in you have misspelled it like that way. Okay. So as another example of in C or Java, the appearance of case statement without an enclosing switch is a syntactic error. However, this situation is usually allowed by the parser and caught later in the processing as the compiler attempts to generate. Next one is the semantic errors. It includes mismatches between operators and operands. An example is a return statement in a Java method with result type void. Okay, and the last one is the logical error. You know it. It can be anything from incorrect reasoning on the part of the programmer to the use in C program of the assignment operators. Used equals to instead of the comparison operator checking equals. Equals to used This is the assignment operator, but you need to use the checking equals operator. You have use equals to instead of checking equals. So in that case, the error will be occur. So the precision of parsing methods allow syntactic error to be detected every efficiently in method. More precisely, they have the variable prefix property, meaning that they detect that an error has occurred as soon as they see a prefix of the input that cannot be completed to form a string in the language. Another reason for emphasizing error recovery during parsing is that many errors appear syntactic whatever their cause and are exposed when parsing cannot continue. A few semantic errors such as type mismatch can also be detected efficiently. However, accurate detection of semantic and logical errors at compile time is in general a difficult task. The error handler in a parser has goals that are simple to state but challenging to realize. Report the presence of error clearly and accurately. Recover from each error quickly enough to detect subsequent error. And need to add minimal overhead where to the processing of the correct program. So that's about the lecture. Thank you.